I once heard someone say Catholics worship like it's a funeral, Protestants worship like it's a wedding. Now, that's not totally fair because the Mass is the wedding feast of the Lamb, as Revelation 19:9 says, and it should be filled with reverence and awe. But it does raise a good point. Joy doesn't have to be silent, and worship doesn't always have to be solemn to be sincere. Psalm 100, 1-2 says, "Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing." See, God didn't create joy as a distraction. He created it as a fruit of union with him. That's why Galatians 5:22 calls it one of the fruits of the Spirit. Joy isn't optional, it's evidence of grace. As Catholics, we absolutely can and should express joy in worship. That doesn't mean turning the Mass into a pep rally, but it does mean letting the joy of our salvation show up in our music, when we sing, in our faces, when we smile, in our interactions, when we greet each other before and after Mass, in our daily life where joy becomes our witness. At the same time, let's not assume that because someone isn't outwardly expressive, they're spiritually flatlined. Not every Catholic who prays quietly is missing joy. Sometimes that joy is deep and silent, the kind that anchors the soul rather than dances with it. But on the flip side, loud joy can sometimes be a mask for internal emptiness. We've all seen smiles that hide sadness and hands lifted in worship that are aching with questions. So let's be fair. Joy looks different on different people. It's not about volume, it's about authenticity. And when Protestants express joy in worship with freedom, beauty, and boldness, it reminds us that joy is a gift, not a personality trait. It's something to be nurtured, celebrated, and most importantly, rooted in the unchanging love of Christ. Because if we're truly living in the reality that the tomb is empty and Christ is risen, then our worship, whatever form it takes, should reflect that. And I think that's something we can all say amen to.